Hi all, I'm Rob Lee, a classically trained producer, and I'm here to help you make engaging music. Today we are going to take a look at some melodic invention. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of music theory and also a few techniques that we learned in a previous video. So let me share my screen. Okay, to start with, I'm going to choose a tempo, and the tempo I'm going to choose today is 110 BPM, and I'm going to make an 8-bar long melody. Oops, 7 bars. Let's make it 8. Whoops. There we go. 8-bar long melody. And I'm also going to choose a key randomly. I'm going to choose the key of G minor. Now, to help me with my scales, I'm using the Ableton Learning Playground, and I've kind of scrolled down to the melodies section. And if you want to know where this website is, I've got a link down below. So click on that and you'll be able to find it. And you can see here I've selected C major, and you can find all the notes in the C major scale down the side. I want to use G minor, and we're using the natural minor scale before anyone gets excited. And yes, I know there's more than one minor scale, but we're going to use the natural minor scale for this exercise. And you can see here down the side all the notes that belong to the G natural minor scale. So we have a tempo, we have a key. Next, well, let's have a think about what we've got here in terms of bars. We've got 8 bars. Now you might think to yourself, oh, it's not very much, 8 bars. But if you're creating a melody just from scratch, 8 bars is quite a lot of material. So it's probably best to break this up into chunks. And probably you've guessed by now that the easiest way to break up this 8 bars is into 2-bar chunks. And if you remember a couple of videos back, we took a look at a melodic structure that Doja Cat had used for her hit song Say So, and that was an A, B, A, C structure. Now, we've chosen our tempo, we've chosen our key. The next thing to do is to choose a melodic structure so that we know, we can guarantee that our melody will be coherent. Now, of course, A, B, A, C is not the only structure. We also, a couple of weeks ago, we did look at another melodic structure that Pharrell Williams and Daft Punk used in their song Get Lucky. That was the A-A-B-A structure, or if you want to split hairs, A, B dash, sorry, A dash, B, A dash. There are other structures. There's another one here which is, whoops, overdid it. There is one which is the A, B, A dash, B dash structure, where A dash is literally a slight variant of A and B dash is a slight variant of B. But actually, we today are going to make use of an A, B, A, C structure. So let's start by looking at our opening gambit, our very first 2 bars. And what I'm going to do is set the grid to 16th notes. And I'm going to choose 5 random notes from our scale, our G minor natural scale. And I'm going to turn them all into quarter notes and put them one after another in our opening A section. So the first note I'm going to choose is number 3, the 3rd step of the scale. So let's have a look at our Ableton Learning Playground, and if I count up here, 1, 2, 3, I can see that the 3rd step of the scale is our B flat. So let's put a B flat in there. Let's turn it into a quarter note. There it is. Then I'm going to use number 2, which is going to be an A, 1, 2, you can see there, simple as. And then I'm going to choose number 1. Well, we know number 1's going to be G. Cool. Next, I'm going to use number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an E flat. So let's put that up here. And then one more note, because I said 5 notes, didn't I? Of course, you could change this. You could have 3 notes if you want, or 4 notes. It's totally up to you. I'm just using 5. And then that's number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D to finish off. So let's have a listen to that. Okay. So let's think of that as our block of granite in terms of melodic material. Let's call it our sort of starting block. And you might think to yourself, it's got some cool features, but it's a bit rhythmically boring. And you're right, it is rhythmically boring. But it's got these cool little step down here, this nice large jump up to the E flat from the G, and then settling on the D, which is also quite a satisfying end, I suppose. And then also we've got this kind of space at the end of bar 2. And this space is incredibly useful because it seems to be that any kind of melody that includes breathing space, even if it's not a melody that's sung, really heightens the listener experience. And in fact, Quincy Jones, I'm just going to quote Quincy Jones, often said that there's got to be room in the music for God to walk through. And I think part of that, what he means is exactly this. There's got to be a little bit of space. Okay, so rhythmically boring. Let's make it a little bit more exciting rhythmically. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow myself to repeat notes consecutively, but not to go back and repeat notes after I've moved on to the next one. So let's do this. I'm just randomly putting some, I guess, syncopated rhythm in there, and then we get that little bit of beat at the end, not bar, beat for the breathing space. So let's have a listen to it now. Okay, cool. So we've got some cool features again. We've got a bit of syncopation in there now, which is another way of engaging a listener. Okay, so this is our A section, and we know it's here, and we also know it's going to be repeated here. Now, I should also add here, it doesn't matter if you don't like it. Whatever you create when you're doing this exercise, it doesn't matter if you like it or dislike it. Just ignore you liking it or disliking it to start with. And then I'll explain why later. So how are we going to then create our B section? Well, there's a million and one ways you could do this, but one way I'm going to do that today is by taking the rhythm of the A section as a sort of influence, and then just do it with the notes in reverse order. So that would be, I'll start with this one, and then, oh, look at that, it's almost the same. Oh, look at that. So there we have it. The notes in reverse, but I've kept the same rhythm. Let's have a listen to this. Now you know this is going to work. It's going to be coherent at least. It's a little twee perhaps, but it's coherent. And I'm going to just I'm going to actually change it a little bit. I'm going to take the rhythm out of it a little bit at the end, just so that, you know, it's a bit different. That seems a little bit more satisfying to me, but like I said, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. So that's our A and our B sections dealt with. Now let's listen to it all together, including our 2 bars at the end, our C section, which we haven't written yet. Let's have a listen. And you might think to yourself, well, I'm just going to use my instinct to write that last 2 bars, and you'd be fine to do that. But we can also train our instinct to write something satisfying by analysing what we've done so far. So, for example, if we look at the opening of each section at the moment, every single one starts on the downbeat. Now for our C section, what we want to be doing ideally is creating a little bit of contrast. So we should really think about doing the opposite of what we analyse, we find in our other section. So I've just said each section begins with a downbeat. Well, let's not start with the downbeat on the next one. So I'm going to start on a B flat. And not on the downbeat, so yeah, a little bit away from the downbeat there. It doesn't matter what notes, just as long as they're in the G minor natural scale, it doesn't matter what the notes are at this point. What else can we see? Well, this is very much a stepping down, isn't there? I mean, there's this big jump here, but generally speaking, things are moving in kind of step. So in that case, let's not move in step. Let's make some larger jumps, you know, in our melody. Not exclusively, but, you know, let's not just make it step down. Let's make it go up and not in steps. Maybe in thirds. Let's try that. That's the beginnings of something. And finally, what else? Syncopation. We feature syncopation in our melody in each section. So let's not have any syncopation in our C section. I'm literally just whatevering it's like kind of arpeggiated thing. No syncopation. Well, perhaps a tiny bit at the end there. Who knows what? And it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if I like it or not. Okay. And the reason is because to do this exercise, really, you could think of it as take half an hour and write as many 8-bar melodies as you can in half an hour, and how many you can make. And actually, you might not like any of the first few that you make, but after you kind of get good at this and you speed up, you might find that you make 5 melodies in half an hour or 6 melodies, and then you might decide, well, I actually quite like one of them, and then that'll be the one that you should work on. But anyway, let's have a listen to what we've got so far. There we go. So there we have it. Music theory and melodic structure put together to create a bit of melodic invention. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been useful, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.